right now. Live control room. Cool. So, pretty sure it's streaming live. Hey, everybody. If you guys are watching...
Are we live?
Yep, now we're live. Right here.
Well, this looks new.
It does look new. Yeah, cool. All right, so, hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am Jeff.
And I'm Liz.
And welcome to another episode of Random Tan Experience. And I am just... Okay, so I'm just about to share this link. So hopefully you guys can see us right now, but I'm just going to share this this live streaming link on our Facebook group page here, and we're going to get this show started.
Uh-huh. Our theme for our homeschool year this year is growth.
Yeah, so this is all about personal.
You guys are getting to watch us grow through this new software that we were talking about last week.
Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit confusing because, I mean, it's simple, but it is definitely a little bit of a learning curve. So, you know, for those of you guys who aren't familiar with this whole live streaming world and everything, you know, Facebook, it used to be that we can just click a button and all of a sudden, you know, have it would work. But now there's just a little bit more steps, which does allow us to do a little bit more, but we haven't really taken the time to learn about that because
we're in the first couple weeks of homeschooling for the year.
Exactly, right?
Yes.
And so we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. But let me just, hold on a second here. Okay. All right, here we go. Hey, everyone. We are live now. Exclamation point. Okay, so I know over the year it's going to get, it's definitely going to get better. Link, and here we go.
Post.
Okay. All right, so hopefully this link will work.
That's actually because last week we had an issue.
There was an error.
No.
So we're still...
So are we not live then?
No, we are live
we
because...
are live.
Yeah, we're definitely live because, you know, we're here. It's just... I think that was the thing to share to the... I get it. Okay, so I think that was the video.
So we're live, but nobody can find us because we haven't posted the link?
No. People, no, I've posted the link. So theoretically, let me just edit this other post here. So theoretically, people should have clicked on the other link. Now I can't edit this post. Yeah, this technology is supposed to be our friend, but sometimes it is not our friend.
Not our friend.
I don't think I posted that. So good. Okay, fine. So awesome. All right, good. So welcome to another exciting episode of Random Tan Experience. Leave, and there we go. So tonight, so tonight we're going to be talking about what our homeschool day looks like.
Yep.
You know, a chore list of what our chores kind of look like. And so theoretical, right? And you know, a couple of other new activities that we've started doing with the you know, with the kids and stuff, and answering more questions that we get, you know, being a big family, right?
Yes.
So cool. All right. So one of the questions that we get a lot is what does homeschooling look like? Because I think a lot of people have different ideas of what what it means to homeschool. Like,
I think homeschooling can look very different for different people.
From household to household.
Which is part of the attraction of homeschooling, is that you're not in a box with a specific set of, it must be this way.
Exactly, right? Yeah. And so one of the things that's been a really big blessing for us is that Liz and I have very different teaching styles, and that has really, really helped because Liz is really good with sitting down with the kids and reading and getting them to read their words and and sound it out. And I'm a little bit more of an experiential teacher, like teaching by experience, teaching by activity. So the combination of that works really, really well.
Mm-hmm. Keeps them engaged,
right?
Levels. Yeah.
So the first thing that usually the day starts out with is math and spelling.
Yes.
Right?
And so spelling is a favorite for a couple of our kids.
Yeah, actually, they really, really like it.
Ask,
so,
okay, can we do spelling now? Can we do spelling?
Yeah, so usually it's like one of the first ones, first things that we do. And the ones that are, we've only got 3 right now in, who are spelling age, right? Like,
well, no, Raphael is starting the grade. It's a different curriculum that it.
Right. Okay. So so we've got 4 of them doing.
We've got 3 of them working with one curriculum.
Right.
And one of them working with a different.
That's another question that we often get with homeschoolers is what kind of curriculum do you use? And we could probably devote a whole episode on homeschooling curriculum, but just enough right now.
We use a mix of a lot of stuff.
Exactly, because we found that some curriculums are really, really great, but if you just stick with that, they can be really, really intense. And and in fact, talking with other parents who've used other systems. Like one of the most famous ones out there is the Seton, and it's really, really good. So I don't want to, say anything negative about Seton. However, I have heard from other parents that if you just stick with Seton and, be sort of militant about it, it can actually turn, your kids off. You can burn out. You can burn out. And if your kids are not, the type of kids who are, as driven as as the Seton curriculum encourages you to be, you can actually turn them off of homeschooling. So
that being said, I know other families who have used Seton like for all their kids, and they just all go through it. Like,
that's right,
beginning to end, and no issues. So obviously it was.
And it was good for them.
It was
right?
something that they adapted to well.
Yeah. So there's all sorts of really cool homeschooling curriculums out there. We tend to use a variety of them. Anyway, but so math and spelling, it starts off our day. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we're starting to do this year, I've kind of tried to implement it this year, is we've tended to let them work at their own pace. But what I found was when they worked at their own pace, sometimes we didn't get everything that I wanted to do in a day in, right? Mm-hmm. So, like they'd spend, like Matthias could spend, an hour and a half in his math and be totally content about it, just plugging away, but then there's no other time, right? Then there's no other time for other stuff. So, I've started saying, okay, work for, like, do these exercises, but only work for about half an hour. Right? Mm-hmm. Get as many questions as you can get done in half an hour, because usually by that half hour mark when they're working, they can usually get enough questions done for them to understand the concept. Mm-hmm. Right? So they don't have to, once they've understood the concept, and once they can, demonstrate a good understanding of that concept, then they can move on. So, so after math and spelling, then we switch to This year we're actually with Kira and Nathan, I've got them doing music theory, and Matthias, I've got him doing computer science. And actually, where we're getting the curriculum for this is Khan Academy. So if you've never heard of Khan Academy, whether you're a homeschooler or just want to supplement your education, or if you're a teacher that want some additional classroom material, I highly recommend Khan Academy. It's totally free. It's it's got so many different resources. In fact, I know families who only use Khan Academy for their entire homeschooling curriculum. And it is possible. It is possible because you can actually take them from kindergarten all the way to their college entrance exams. They've got GMAT, they've got MCAT prep courses too. Like they've got all sorts of even grad school prep courses too for on Khan Academy. So you can take them right from right from kindergarten right to the end on Khan Academy. Anyway, so we're using Khan Academy for computer science and for music. And what is really cool about the Khan Academy computer science course that Matthias is doing is he's doing it online. And as he goes through the tutorials, it plays the tutorials, and it'll pause at a certain point, and he can actually play with the code. He'll play with the code and do some animation, and I think he's doing maybe JavaScript, maybe some JavaScript right now. So he's doing that in grade 8. So there you go. So that's something that he's able to do. And then we'll do some reading and comprehension. Another program that we found this year that we're using, I really like it, is the Easy Peasy All-in-One Homeschooling. So that's also another website. You can just go to that website and free, free. You can everything's free. You don't even have to create a profile. However, if you do create a profile, so with Khan Academy, if you create a profile, you can save your progress. And especially for the young kids, it's really cool with the math. They've gamified the math, so you can do really cool games, and your character will you can
buy up. Once you get certain
points and stuff,
you can earn upgrades to your character's profile picture and
and all that kind of stuff, right?
Kind of stuff, yeah.
And with Easy Peasy Homeschooling, you can also create a profile, and it gives you certain answers to some to some of the exercises, that...
actually, you don't actually even need to create a profile. I discovered that today.
Oh, okay, good. So there you go. So you don't even have to create a profile for the, for the answers and stuff. But Easy Peasy Homeschool All-in-One, again, I highly recommend it for, for homeschoolers. If you're thinking about getting into homeschooling, definitely check those out. I'll put the links down in the comments after. And you can check those those resources out. Even in fact, even if your kids are in school and they need a little bit of extra help, I would definitely recommend Khan Academy for tutorials and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Because nothing against tutors, but some people are on a budget and they can't afford a tutor. Yep. Right, so awesome. Now, after music, computer science, we get some reading, the comprehension, and then in the afternoons, depending on the day, right, we also have swimming, and we have different homeschool co-ops that we participate in. And so these homeschool co-ops, I think, are the best thing. They're my personal favorite thing about homeschooling, because it's in these homeschool co-ops that our kids can experience all of the different things that we wouldn't necessarily be able to do on our own. It allows us to purchase in bulk, for certain things. So for example, our swimming co-op, it costs us about $25 per child to get 10 lessons of swimming.
Yeah, a 10-week course.
A 10-week course in swimming, and this is at a rec center in Barrie, and with full-on trained lifeguards and everything, and
Yeah.
they get I think it's Life Saving Society that that they get their certificates through.
Yep.
So, and the reason we can get that is because it's a school rate. So we get that, as a school rate. Same thing with our skiing. So that's one of my favorites is skiing. It's insane the discount that we can get with skiing. So if you are a regular skier, you know how expensive it can be for skiing. And if you're not a skier, it can be lift tickets can be $100 just for one day. Just for one day of skiing can already be $100 plus the rental,
which is prohibitive for some people.
Right. So, with our homeschooling, co-op for skiing, it's $23 for skis, rental, and lift ticket for an entire day. And it's 30
lesson.
And a lesson. Oh, right. Yeah. And a lesson. One-on-one, semi-private lessons is actually really, really cool. And then for snowboarding, it's 36.
Yeah.
Right. 36 for the snowboard, your boots, everything that you need for your rental, the lesson, and your lift ticket for the entire day.
Yep.
So that's
pretty crazy deal.
That's a pretty crazy deal. So we can take six of us skiing for maybe what it would cost one of us to go skiing on a regular day. Those are some of the amazing things. In the past, our kids have done archery. They've done. Liz taught a painting course at one of our homeschool co-ops. I'm teaching a martial art course right now, which is really cool. And so it just allows us as parents to pool all of our skills in a way that benefits everybody else. So that's that's really cool. Some of our homeschool co-ops, we have catechism, which is awesome too. Our kids get to experience catechism, and anyway, so all of those.
Right now they're doing a session with microscopes.
Oh,
they're doing microscopy.
That's right, microscopy in science. Yeah, that's really awesome. That's really awesome. So that's really, really cool. The other things that we do now for the kids who are in high school, one of the things that we did, I wanted to really focus on physical fitness and physical activity this year, really taking advantage of a lot of the things that are around us and getting us more physically active this year. So one of the things that I did is we have very close to us CFB Borden, and they've got an amazing deal. It's like the best kept secret in the entire community. Maybe it's not a secret now after everybody watches this, but it's one of the best kept secrets in the entire community. They've got amazing great deals on family memberships to the fitness center, which include among other things, you can get a pool membership or you can get a fitness membership. So when you get a pool membership, it's just the pool, but when you get a fitness membership, it also includes the use of the weight rooms, the track, the skating rink. So the kids and the pool. So the kids are really looking forward to doing skating, but right now we're really enjoying benefiting a lot from the swimming, because it gets the kids into the water more than once a week. And also it's helping out our older kids, because we've started swimming Mondays and Wednesdays. I've been taking the older two swimming Mondays and Wednesdays, and they've been really enjoying that. So that's and it's actually been nice for me too, because I haven't been able to interact with our teenagers as much lately as
because our older two go to high school. We don't homeschool the ones that are in high school right now. So it's been really good. So one of the questions that we also get too is our chores, and our what does our chore list look like, because it is a constant battle. Housework is never ending, right? Housework is never ending. And the thing about having lots of people is that you generate lots of stuff.
That's right. You do. You generate lots of stuff. You generate lots of laundry. You generate lots of clutter. You generate lots of things. And the thing is, 11, 12 people in the house doesn't necessarily mean 11, 12 people who are able to clean up. Right? So, it still falls to, the minority of people who are able to really really clean to to a Pinterest standard, right? So we don't try to meet the Pinterest standard. That's I've mentioned this before. This is the cleanest area of our house, which is why we use it for our backdrop for the show. Otherwise, you'd see like the.
Never mind what you
anyway,
see. Yeah.
Right? I was going to say like the 10 piles of laundry over there. But it's all clean though. It's all clean. We've got 10 piles of clean laundry waiting to be folded. So anyway. But we've tried this thing called 5 o'clock jobs, which is sort of working.
It's sort of working. The thing is, you know what it is? When we went away for the summer, I had to turn off my alarms on my phone. And I have to reset that alarm because it works better when I have my alarm set, and then when it goes at 5 o'clock, then it just reminds me to tell everybody that they have to do their 5 o'clock job. The thing is, you can automate a lot of stuff in terms of getting people responsible for things, but it still takes mom to actually instigate the implementation of the automation.
And the thing is, mom is way better at at doing that than dad. Sometimes.
Primarily.
Yeah. So, yeah. So anyway. So that's kind of what we do at the 5 o'clock jobs. I've seen different things, actually. I've seen, people having a schedule. They do this area on Monday, this area on Tuesday, this area on, Wednesday.
And I've seen some other people, they break up the household jobs and everybody has their assigned job for the year. So you get training at the beginning of the year how to do that particular job, and you get really good at it through the year because you have to do it up to a standard, as you go.
And sometimes it works, and sometimes it really depends, it depends on, because the kids are different too.
Yeah, right? Different system will work
for different kids, right? So it's creating that balance, and because some people would enjoy doing one job, an entire year, and then some kids want to break it up. Mm-hmm. So that's that's something that we're also figuring out too, but we don't have anything concrete.
Yeah. Well, we do some things that are pretty standard. So we have our 5 o'clock jobs as the family room tidy up is 2 kids, and the living room tidy up is 2 kids.
The hallway cleanup.
And the hallway cleanup is 2 kids, which is, some of those kids are pulled in different directions right now, so we've got to probably rejig that a little.
Yeah.
But the other thing to consider is pairing up the ones who will work well together when you put them in a confined space to work together.
Yeah, because pairing is key.
Because some kids
will not work
well. Some of them will actually, end up tearing each other apart.
That's right. So you've got to be, you got to be mindful of that. Yeah. Right. So which one of your kids work well together, and which don't, and for your own sanity, don't pair the ones that don't work together well.
Yeah.
That's it. Right. Mm-hmm. I know that some people would have the philosophy is like, nope, they have to learn to get along, so you got to force them. But why would you subject yourself to that if you didn't have to? I don't know.
It's your own headache.
It is really your own headache. So if you're gonna put up with it, then then that's fine. It's your headache. But then don't complain to everybody. Don't complain to everybody that your kids fight.
Yeah. I think I've learned that most people's kids fight.
Oh yeah, well, all of our kids fight. Everybody's kids fight, but
I won't say everyone because I haven't met everyone.
No.
But I haven't met anyone whose kids don't fight.
No, right? And
which was eye-opening for me as an only child.
Right.
And watching the dynamics that play out among siblings and learning that, no one in the world can push your buttons like a sibling.
Yeah.
Because they are the ones who watch those buttons develop as you grow, and they learn when you're very young, very vulnerable. Oh, this one always gets irritated at this. I know how to touch that button.
That was one of the benefits of being at Cana Colony, actually, for us. When because we were still a pretty young, small family at the time.
When we first went.
We first went to Cana, and then just seeing the dynamic of other families. So I know we've talked about Kana. Well, we talked about Kana last episode, but as parents, it's important for you guys to surround yourself with other parents. Try to, and see each other in other settings. Going to the family events, it's okay, but I like everybody's at their best behavior, at family events. But trying to seek out other family things that you guys to surround yourself with other families in very real environments, will really help. Will really help your perspective. Because sometimes in our society right now, the system tends to lend itself to parenting in isolation, right? So you see everybody's stories on Facebook and Pinterest and all this kind of stuff, and everybody's blogs.
The thing is, usually people only put their best on display, right? So some people could have all sorts of crazy stuff going on. All you'll see is their beautiful meal that they had at a restaurant, and the flowers that they
and actually I've noticed a trend too with some bloggers that they are talking about their struggle.
There's more talking about vulnerability
now and everything like that. And so we are all vulnerable to acknowledge that, acknowledge yourself. So that's that's it there.
The other question that we get asked a lot is that, wow, you guys, it's not so much a question as an assumption, is you guys must have a lot of patience.
Yeah, we get that.
We have 9 kids, and I will say, or people will think a really patient person, which I will say I have grown in patience, but I didn't start out that way.
Yeah, no, and
that a lot of people will say, "Oh, I could never do that because I don't have the patience that you do." And the fact of the matter is, I didn't have the patience that I have now when I had less kids. So when I had 5 kids, I didn't have the patience for 9 kids.
No.
And when I had 2 kids, I didn't have the patience that I needed for 5 kids. But as each one comes, you learn different ways to delay gratification, to breathe deeply and think for a moment and evaluate, how badly does this matter? Will this matter in 5 minutes, 5 years, 5 days? Is this something that's really going to, affect the trajectory of my life, right?
Yeah.
And also just learning to, because we homeschool, also learning to take a teaching approach with a lot of the stuff. So when our kids are fighting, or when our kids are frustrated, trying to teach them that, hey, take a step back, this is how you can look at it, right? Like, not to freak out at them, but to say, what do you need to do, and what's the lesson you're learning here, and then to apply that.
Yeah. And when I was teaching, somebody said, "Wow, you got a lot of patience. First, you got to spend all day with these kids, and then, then you got to go home to your own kids." And I said, "Well, I love my kids. It's here in the classroom that I need more patience." And that's it. It's how you look at, how you look at your situation, because. I heard something too, HALT, H-A-L-T, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. That's what those 4 things. And if you're hungry, you'll get angry, right? So hunger leads to anger, right? So if I'm feeling a little frustrated, sometimes, not always, and I'll admit that I'm not the most perfect at this, but I started making it a practice to ask myself, am I hungry right now? So am I hungry? Because hunger will lead to anger, and L stands for loneliness, and T is tired, right? So hunger, anger, loneliness, tired. And so loneliness will lead to tiredness, right? So like when you're lonely, you'll be tired, right? So those are, those are things that I heard that kind of helped me also with, with the patience, right? With patience with our, patience with our kids.
Not only patience for us, but also looking at our kids and understanding their behavior, right? So when it's before dinner time and everybody's getting a little fractious, it's not just because they're, unruly bad kids. It's because they're hungry and they're, they're young and they don't have the resources developed yet to be able to manage that and know, I'm hungry. I need to calm myself down because I know dinner's coming and it's going to feel better soon. But right now I'm just not happy about it.
Yeah. So, and our kids are having a meltdown.
Yep.
And that's it, right? So our kids are having a meltdown and you got to say to yourself, because they're hungry too.
Yep.
And you are the adult.
Yes.
Right. So as adults, it's our job to
adult.
And master our passions, right? To be the adult, right? So that's
sometimes we want to break from adulting.
Yeah, but
doesn't happen very often.
When your kids are having a meltdown, that's when you step up your adulting game.
Yeah.
I think anyway. Okay, so that brings us up to the top of the hour, and if I talk any more, the chime is going to go, and you're going to hear the big chime and everything. So, on that note, if you guys have any questions, we'd love to hear from you guys. randomtanexperience@gmail.com. I think I'm going to try a different encoding software next week because this one is still confusing me. I know. I noticed there that our live stream paused for this. So apologies for you guys who are watching live and our live stream pause and stuff. But on that note, we'll see you guys next week.
Have a great week.